Hey guys, happy Thursday. It is the 2nd of January 2025. I hope your new year has been good so far. I hope everyone is well that's watching this video. And this is a daily market outlook video. I obviously did one yesterday when the markets obviously wasn't open. But just to give you an insight into this week or the rest of this week and then next week. And as you guys can probably already see that we've had the areas that we was talking about, or I was talking about yesterday, kind of play out to a T at the moment, but I'm still in a bit of a, I don't think this is going to, carry on upwards at the moment, but we never know. But anyway, you're probably thinking, what on earth are you talking about, Liam? So let's get straight into this outlook video. So we'll start off by the dollar. So as you guys can see, the dollar currently right now, we're in this 4-hour range from this low, this bottom low, to this high here. And we said yesterday that my main area that I've been looking for is this 4-hour demand area, this 4-hour candle, the last sell candle before the momentum upwards. That was my main area that I wanted to see the market come and basically obviously attack. Obviously we've not had that currently because, as I mentioned yesterday on the daily market outlook, we had basically this roadblock here on the lower time frames, on the 1-hour time frame, I think it was. And as you guys can see, the roadblock is basically playing out currently. But for me, I'm just unsure unless we break this high that I want to participate in this, just because it's imbalance below and there's a clear level of demand that I think will personally be met. So that is my main thoughts first is, if I'm thinking like the institutions, and that's what I always recommend people to do so, is okay, 99% of people probably looking at this right now, and they're probably thinking there's a lot of support and resistance around this area. So people will be obviously looking at longing this and buying this up. So if I think like that, and if that's how I think the institutions are going to think, then obviously would it not make sense that, okay, majority of people's stop losses, people's money is what? It's below this low here. So if a lot of people's money is below this low here, then what does that mean? That means that we have liquidity. So would it not make sense to basically come down, take out everyone's stop losses, come into this demand, fill this imbalance, and then move away from here? Like for me, that would make more sense to then go and create a new higher high. So maybe being stubborn, maybe not. I don't know. We'll find out. That is what I would like to see. I think that a lot of retail traders are going to be buying in this position, and I feel like this, where everyone's stop losses is just below this imbalance, is what is going to be used as inducement, as liquidity. So that is my first thoughts going into today. If we drop down to the lower time frames, let's drop down to the 2-hour. Let's drop down to the 1. So let's obviously have a look here. So let's refine this to this big wick. So as you guys can see currently right now, we are obviously playing inside of this range. So one thing that I would also maybe just keep an eye on is the fact that we could be obviously reacting from this supply zone. Now, for me personally, what I would like to see is this, 1 hour supply zone. I would like to see a reaction from this personally. So from the dollar, I would like to see a lower time frame shift, so that we can attack down into this 4-hour demand, take out the lows here. But obviously we do not get that, then again, obviously the probability is that we can carry on up and create a new high. So it's not like I'm saying it's 100% what I want to see happen is going to happen. I've just got to basically play what I can see. Or what I like to see, should I say. And obviously my main priority was and still is this 4-hour demand. And for me, I'm willing to wait and not participate in obviously looking at the dollar unless we break this high. Let's say we come up here and we break above this high and we create a new high, then this low would become my higher low, this high would become my higher high, and I will be looking at retracement and utilizing this demand area that I can see, or try and find, should I say, in here. So that'll be my main thought going into the dollar. So hopefully that makes sense. But if you just look at the dollar currently, hopefully some of you guys can probably see, and this is where trading can get hard, because obviously this is a valid demand area, and yes, we can move away from there and carry on upwards, of course. And this is where ego, this is where emotions come in, because if I participate in this and then I end up being wrong, and I knew that I should wait for this area, that's where I've lost a percentage of my account. I'm absolutely fuming, so on and so on and so on. So for me, it's like I would rather sit on my hands and wait for a better confirmation so that I know I was right and I know that I stuck to my trading plan. And if you look at this from this low to this high, this imbalance in this demand area just looks too juicy to me, just to be completely real with you guys. So hopefully you can see that as well. Now going into GU, I had yesterday, we've just brought this daily and 4 hour lower low. But as you guys can see, I had this 4 hour demand area which was met. We obviously broke and then we come back up, tapped in, and we moved away. This week was our next supply. Our next supply area was this week, but it was not clean enough, I don't think, for me to even take. I just didn't like the look of this wick. I wouldn't have traded this or took a trade from GU. So obviously, just to be truthful with you guys, I'm not going to come in here and say I would have took that trade. I would not have took that trade, or even attempted to take that trade because it was such choppy movement from here. But if you guys can see currently right now, we broke all between these lows, which I've been talking about for quite not a long time, but I mentioned it at the beginning of the week that these are just too many lows. It's too much support and resistance. We had 1, 2, 3 touches, 4 touches where people are going to be looking at support and resistance, and I knew that the markets would want to come and collect that. So my next trail of thought is this big candle here. I would like to see retracement into this 4 hour supply area. And then with that 4 hour supply area, I'd like to see us carry on this momentum down because we have broke below this. So we can get obviously a pullback into this and then carry on downwards. That would be my main thought, of course, for GU. So hopefully you guys can see that as well as me. Pretty clear as well on here for the 4 hour structure. You can see that we have obviously broke this now. We had the 4 hour lower high. Once this candle finishes, which is a long way ahead, this will be our valid 4 hour lower high, and this obviously down here will be our valid 4 hour lower low. EU, let's have a look at what EU is doing. So EU looks a lot more cleaner to me. Obviously, I've been waiting, or should I say, I was waiting for this 4 hour supply area with imbalance to obviously be met. I wanted to see before we broke this low, I wanted to see us come into this 4 hour supply and then move away from here. And that was my main priority for coming into today. But obviously, it looks like we are breaking a new low. So if we can get obviously a closure on this area here and we can finish below, then naturally what I think will happen is these demand areas here will take control and obviously still take control, should I say, and we will carry on from this area. So let's say we get a strong finish below this low, then obviously this will be our next area to carry on to. Even though this will be my main area that I would like to see happen. So it all depends on this next 3 hours with this candle. We could obviously close below this and have a candle closure, and then this will be a valid 4 hour demand supply area, which we can obviously look at taking. But again, what also could happen is we could finish above and we could just see us carry on up into this area and then obviously get the real move from there. So that is the two options for EU. Let's see how the next 4 hour candle does finish. Going into NU, we're currently right now had a clear break of that structure. We've got a valid, obviously, 4 hour, lower high, daily lower high here, and 4 hour and daily lower low. So as you guys can see, we're in this 4 hour supply area right now. So what I would like to see is obviously a movement away from this area. I'd like to see us move away from this area, attack this low. Obviously waiting for your lower time frame confirmation. Obviously be aware that we are not in New York session as well. So we might get an early inducement during obviously London, and then we might come up to then obviously make the real move. So we might have this as an early inducement. People might be selling, put the stop losses above here, and then we might come up just before New York, take out the stop losses, and then have that true move downwards. So that is my main thought going into New York. Is this 4 hour supply? AUD USD, we're in this 4 hour supply as well, pretty similar to obviously NZUSD. So the 4 hour supply is in control currently right now. So again, we want to see this movement, but we want to make sure that we do break the 15-minute change of trend. And when I talk about 15-minute change of trend or 30-minute change of trend or 5-minute change of trend, I want to see us coming into a supply area, obviously like this. and we can see the clear higher highs, higher lows. And then I want to see a failed higher high, which is now going to be our lower high, and then a change of trend. So we broke this lower low, higher low, and we have that one break, and then obviously you can participate. It's a bit more riskier, but once we obviously do get two breaks, one break here, one break there, that is all go to take this down. So this is what I would like to see coming from a 4 hour supply area on obviously any of these. So that could be any time frame that you feel comfortable on, your 15-minute, your 30-minute, or it could be your 5-minute, or even lower time frame. So lower time frame that you go, the more mistakes that you do make. So just make sure that you are aware of that. So that is what I've got for AU. USD CHF, we are reacting perfectly from this 4 hour demand area. As you guys can see, we've got our 4 hour higher low and our 4 hour higher high. We had a perfect reaction from the demand area that I gave out last week. And as you guys can see, we are literally moving away from this. So I would like to see this high broke here. So we can get this high broke and a candle closure, and then I would like to potentially participate in this. So we can get this, then a clear movement down. I would like to carry on this upwards. So that will be my main priority for a USD CHF, is a candle closure above this area, and then let's see what it shows. Let's say we get a candle closure above this area, then what we can potentially look at is this demand area here for us to then participate in. So let's wait for this to go up and finish above this, and then let's wait for a pullback into this demand. So we want to see candle closure above, into the demand, and then we carry on this upwards. So that is what I've got for USD CHF. Going into USD CAD, I wanted to see this level of demand area met yesterday. We didn't quite get that. Sorry, this week, should I say. We obviously didn't get that. And what you can see is that we've had another candle closure above this, which is, again, I mentioned USD CHF, sorry, USD CAD being in such a consolidation, like such a horrible range. And it's still in that range. Like I said, we are currently going, should I sell, should I buy, should I sell, should I buy? You know, we're coming out of this forward demand area, so that is our main priority, but we didn't have a break above any valid high. Now, for me, we've had that break above this valid high, and we are looking like this supply area is not going to stick, basically. So with that being said, we've had a 1 hour break here. So with that 1 hour break, what can I wait for? Well, what I can wait for is this whole 4 hour leg is in control. So obviously we're expecting a 4 hour pullback into any part of this to obviously have a pullback and then carry on upwards. Now for me, I would obviously like to have a better risk to reward. So I'm not going to buy from the top of this. I would probably wait for the second candle, or if I'm looking at wait for the first candle. That would be my refined demand area, but not always we're going to get that. Like this is my demand area here. We're not always going to get this, as you can see, and then we go and break above. If you want to be a bit more like, okay, I want to make sure I'm in, then maybe even just go from the body of this second candle, and that might be a bit better for you guys. But that would be my main priority going into the USD CAD pair. So hopefully you guys can see that as well. Let me just make sure I mark this out for our demand. And then let's have a look at the GJ Japanese yen pairs. So currently, as you guys can see, we are stuck between this daily higher low and this daily higher high. We had this big juicy, I think it was a news candle. We made our way back into this daily demand, and then we started to move away, and then we failed to break this higher high. So obviously when we tap into a level of demand, we expect to create a new high or a new low. So with this being said, we failed to break this high, and we've had a mass amount of movement down. If you look at the movement of this, how many candles it took to get to here compared to how many candles it's taken to get down, that tells me a lot. So that does tell me a lot. So what I'd be waiting for right now is, obviously we've just broke this 4 hour lower low. So my main area now is this is my 4 hour lower low. This is my 4 hour lower high. Where would I want to see this come back into? Well, I would want to see this whole leg is where we can come back into, of course. That's where we're going to get the main pullback. We obviously want to get a refined position. So yes, we are going to come into here and move away. And our next roadblock would be this 4 hour demand area. So that is my main priority, is this 4 hour demand area. So again, understand that that is what I'd be looking for, and then see what we can get. But I would also, knowing, obviously you guys knowing me, I want a refined area. So, sorry, supply. I keep saying demand and supply. I'm tired today. I've just been on a run. So you guys can obviously see that you can use this candle because this is a valid candle, or you can use this candle here. That would be the last, that is the last buy candle before the move and the institutional candle. So that is a valid supply. But if we don't get this, we might just come into this candle overall. But again, I like to have a good risk to reward. So I like to use the candle that I do predict, or you can use obviously this if you feel like you don't want to miss out on the trade in case we don't tap in to mitigate this area. So again, the downward trend on a 1 hour is in control currently as we speak. We have taken out these equal lows that I mentioned as well with GJ. So that is always a positive sign, but obviously understand that the higher time frames in an uptrend. So this is where you got to understand the elite levels of trading, like the higher time frames in an uptrend. We have tapped into a demand area still that we're still in this demand area, and we've also taken out liquidity, we've taken out these lows. So we 110% can break above this high. And if we do break above this high, we're back into that uptrend and we're going to create a new higher high. So again, just always play what you see. Don't be afraid to take this sell position because that is priority right now, unless we get a break above this. And if we do get a break above this lower high, yes, then we are back into that uptrend for GJ, and this is where it can get a bit complicated because EJ is the same as obviously GJ, but I think the USD Japanese yen is a little bit different. It looks a little bit different. It looks a little bit more cleaner for obviously an upwards trend. But let's focus on EJ for now. So first of all, I can see we go to the daily time frame. You'll be able to see that this area is my daily higher low, and this is my daily higher high. My 4 hour has just been broken here, and I feel like we're coming down into the rebalance this market, and we also have this big daily demand area here. So they'll be my two priorities for now is can we attack to fill in this imbalance, and also can we mitigate either the daily or the 4 hour demand area. So we drop down to the 4. We drop down to the 4, and you'll be able to see that basically we're still in a downwards trend. So we're still in a 4 hour and a 1 hour downwards trend. So as you guys can notice, we have obviously had a pullback here, and then we've had another break. So we're still in this range right now. We're still in this range. My next supply area is this little supply area here to carry this trend on downwards. So as you guys can see, it's pretty clear enough. Let me zoom in. We have these two candles, or this last candle here, that I am interested in from a 4 hour perspective, that I want to see met. And if we can get that, I will be happy to basically take this downwards. And then obviously if we do get that, my next roadblock is going to be this daily demand area or this 4 hour demand area below here. So EJ and GJ are pretty much the same. We're in an upwards trend, but we're still from a higher time frame. But from a 4 hour, 1 hour, we are in a downwards trend. So I would want to wait and carry this sell onwards until we get that shift and that break, and then potentially go and look to take this higher. So it depends what the market's going to give us, but play what you guys can see. So GJ, EJ, very similar as you guys can obviously see, very, very similar, whereas USD, JPY is not. So as you guys already noticed, we obviously have this daily higher low and this daily higher high. This was my 4 hour higher low. So naturally on a daily time frame, yes, I would like to see this imbalance rebalanced and also this daily demand area met, but also understanding that this pullback is a valid 4 hour pullback. So we're in this range right now. So I don't really need to worry about this unless we break this low. So going to the 4, we are reacting perfectly from, should I say, this 4 hour demand area. It was more of a 2 hour, 1 hour demand area. The 4 hour demand area would be here. But obviously I've refined that. So let's change that to 1 hour demand area, and we've reacted from this, and now we've pulled back into this 4 hour demand, and we're moving upwards from here. So if you drop down to the lower time frames, you'll be able to see that we had a change of that trend. We had all this downwards movement, and we got a change of that trend from here. So once we got a change of that trend, 1 second, you'll be able to see that we've now come down, tapped into this demand area, and we're moving up now. So for me, priorities is USD, Japanese yen, carrying this trend upwards to break a new high. So that's what I would like to see going into the rest of this week. But obviously understand that what we do need to play in tactics is okay, if GJ and Euro Japanese yen obviously look like they're on a downwards trend and USD JPY looks like it's an upwards trend. Obviously you want to just make sure that you're following. There we go, we just broke above this high, that's confirmation. So we just broke above this high, sorry. Let me do that. We've got obviously 15 minutes left on this area, but it looks like we're going to finish above. If we do, that'll be our valid high. This will be our new valid low. So what I would like to see is a pullback. Let's go to the 4. Into this area. This is my 4-hour dollar area. We can finish above here next couple of minutes as a 1-hour break. And then that'll be my 1-hour higher low. 1-hour higher low. And I would like to see this from the dollar, which again, if we can finish above, if that candle can finish above this, that'll be even better confirmation, which means this is going to be obviously our main, but we do have a roadblock here, but that is still our main area. US, Euro USD, this will be our next 4-hour supply area if we can finish above here, which it looks like we are going to from a 1-hour perspective. So from here down to here is my next supply area. If we do obviously break above this, this is the next 4-hour supply area. So for Euro USD, but yeah, that's pretty much it for today, guys. We've got some interesting moves that we can obviously play out. Again, I don't know obviously why I've come on here with a beanie, but all I do, I've just finished a run and obviously just trying to get my fitness up. So I've just finished a run, come back in, I want to get a video sent out to you guys as soon as possible. But yes, have an amazing rest of your day. If you obviously have any questions at all, don't be afraid to fire the questions on the channel below. And just quickly before I do go, I want to actually show you guys that if you want to stay in contact with me on a day-to-day basis, if you go to my YouTube channel, go to my bio, click on more, you'll be able to see that I've got my free Telegram group here. You can click on this, and I've also got my Instagram on here as well. So if you guys obviously want to join my Telegram group, click on this, it's free. And then also my own Instagram is there as well. But other than that, guys, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Take care, and also God bless.